Hello and welcome. I'm Rick the Islander. I make videos on weird games, but this time I decided to do something differently and make a tutorial on a Resident Evil 3 game. On Resident Evil 3, actually. So I will be explaining everything as I go, since I would have liked for someone to do this. I'm starting this is going to be a no shop run, but if you want to use shop items, you're 100% free to do so, since the game doesn't differentiate between an S rank with and an S rank without shop items, or infinite weapons, or whatever. Okay, so for this first part, by the way, I will be putting timestamps for every individual section throughout the video. So if there's any specific part you need help on, or you would like to get through on, then I will put the timestamps by name in the comments. Here I'm going to change my costume to the STARS gear for Jill, because why not?
Who could that be?
Now for this first section, all you have to do is just get to the phone.
What the hell is that thing?
And run along. Most of this first section is obviously self-explanatory, since all you have to do is run forwards, jump through windows, and just straight up run away from Nemesis.
No way.
Another thing, I'm doing this. You could say this run would be a safe way to get through the game, because I pick up what pretty much you need, and I still end up with a bunch of ammo at the end of it. In standard and hardcore, without shop, if you're not rushing through to get world records and stuff like that, you'll end up with a bunch of ammo. You just will.
Jill? Over here.
Brad.
But some people have issues with managing their ammo and their herbs and everything.
One fucked up thing always leads to another.
But either way, here we're following Brad. It's a very slow scene, I guess, an intro. A very slow intro scene.
Hey, wait! Down here!
Can also be fast, based on whatever you consider as fast.
How could this many people be infected?
Now here you just go straight up for Brad.
I'm sorry, Brad.
And yes, you leave him. You get the handgun. And now you don't fight the zombie. You just go, turn around, and keep going. He's gonna fall. And a thing to note is you can dodge onto certain areas, and Jill will automatically take an action that cancels the dodge, meaning you basically move faster through certain sections. Since the sprint has a fast, the moment she throws herself forward, it's faster than walking, but when she stops, it's slower.
Come on, there's a helicopter waiting.
So you need to kind of manage when you dodge, and obviously your precision with the dodges. Now here we just walk through this area, ignore Dario, get the handgun ammo, and just keep going. Here you can dodge 2 or 3 times just to get, here faster. Okay, so for this first section, 2 zombies will spawn. One on the floor, one standing. The one standing, you can just literally go left and dodge back into the button. It's not, you might need practice for some sections, but they're not very difficult. Now, like I've said, I'm doing this, but you can basically make it your own run. You don't need to do everything that I'm doing here. You can use items, you can skip certain areas. Like for example, later on with the hospital, when you play as Jill, you can completely skip the Magnum, but I get it just for safety, you could say. To get through this area, and now don't move in this part. Just don't touch the controller. The cutscene activates as soon as he gets within a certain range of you. So if you keep moving, you're gonna extend the time that the cutscene comes.
I think we're in the.
Now,
Oh, come
for this
on.
part,
The
you
dipshit that
can't
closed
really get
this. Sorry, we're
you
gonna
can't
have to
really
go
get
around.
ahead of Carlos.
Hey,
Not
you know
right
about
now,
that
at
monster?
least.
Nothing. I've never seen anything like it.
And
It's no zombie.
even if you,
Knows what it
like
wants
the
and
way
won't
I'm
stop
doing
till it
here,
gets
even if you get around
like
him
that,
here,
man?
even if you dodge
No thanks.
through him and get, you know, ahead of him, you still have to wait for him to open the door for you, so there's really no point.
PCS for short.
Are you kidding
But
me?
if
Are
you do
fucking
manage-
kidding me? You guys are the ones who caused all of this.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you talking about? You don't
Here,
have to
if you
trust
do
me.
man, you can
I'm going to the
you can
show.
actually get in between his kick
coming?
and the door. Sometimes it doesn't work, but you can actually get
This way.
ahead of him. In this section, he's gonna be way faster. So if you can dodge when he's right behind you, he will actually push you towards the train.
First things first. We need to get you.
Now, something important to note: whenever you go upstairs and you press the aim button, Jill will do a small lunge forward, which basically makes it faster than actually just walking upstairs. Now, obviously for this, skip every radio interaction. They make you slow. Make you very slow. Here, pick up everything that's here. Don't leave anything. Shoot this. You don't really need the knife at all in this game. You can use it. You really don't need to. Now those are 2 hip pouches, and these are all the items that you can unlock through the item shop. I'm not going to be picking up any of them because obviously they're shop items. Here you can dodge, which is what I did there. You can also shoot them, but honestly in hardcore, hardcore and upwards, shooting them isn't really very viable, so just dodge as much as you can. See, they take a bunch of bullets, so honestly just try to get around them as much as possible so you don't waste any ammo. And like I said earlier, you get a bunch of ammo, but honestly just try to dodge as much as you possibly can. It'll actually make the run quicker for you. And in this part, you can just dodge around them if you want to go faster, but if you want to be safer, shoot the barrel, get the gunpowder, and just keep going. Now for these few zombies, don't bother. I shot it, but just, you know, messing around. You don't really need to bother with any of them since they take way too many bullets to really go down, and they take around 4 or 5 or maybe more. Okay, so the safe combination is 9, 3, 7. I'm going to be actually telling you the save combinations first, just so you can know them and not have to go to certain areas to get what you need to know what the save combinations and the locker combinations and everything is. And for this zombie, just stagger him, run around them. You can stagger him or just dodge around him. Equip the dot sight on your handgun, please. It is a very, very useful tool. Very, very useful. It is surprisingly good. From what I've played through, it actually makes the shots hit where the dot sight is. And yes, whenever you see a crate, you can knife it, but honestly, you don't need to. Just shoot it. Here, get these herbs. The high gunpowder. Now, the high grade gunpowder, we're not going to be turning into shotgun shells ever. We're always going to just save them up for the Magnum ammo that you can create with it. And like I said, we're going to be doing certain things in this run that you don't really need to do. And if this zombie would go down, I would proceed. There's a bunch of stuff you don't need to bother doing, and a bunch of stuff you don't need to bother picking up. But personally, I like to pick up the Magnum before the hotel, the lab. I mean, now here there's supposed to be a grenade on standard, but in hardcore obviously there's not. Well, I think I've been playing so many Nightmare and runs that I'm a little confused by certain things. Now, this is important. You pick up the hose and then pick up the hand grenade. Pick up the gunpowder, make it into gun. Yes, you're gonna be, if your inventory is full and you're not using the hip pouches, you're gonna have to discard stuff. Just be mindful of what you discard. Get that grenade, because that grenade is going to be extremely useful for Nemesis. Nemesis goes down in one grenade hit. Just one. It was shocking the first time I found it out, but if you throw a grenade at Nemesis, he goes down in one shot. Now, try to collect as much as you can. If you have more hip pouches than me, then you will 100% be able to manage your stuff better. But I'm trying to basically do the worst case scenario in this run, since it was a very casual run I did. And yes, pick up the fancy boxes. I'm going to be picking up the fancy boxes. If you don't feel like you need the accessory for the shotgun or another grenade or the the hip pouch, just don't bother picking up any of them and just skip straight through. The other ones are in the little mini mart and in the toy store. I'm going to be going through there again. You don't need to get any of the fancy boxes. You don't need to do any optional stuff like the fancy boxes, the Magnum. You can actually skip the grenade launcher and the shotgun and they will spawn later on. Now here, try to place, I don't do it in this section, not yet, I think, but try to place your key items in the first slot. Now, like I do here, yes. Now, this is because there's a lot of menuing in this game, as you can obviously tell. Now, you can go here and get I'm just getting it for safety's sake. But you can pretty much put in your key items. Now, these are the dogs. Just try to get them. They got me. Because, as you can tell, I kind of suck a little bit at aiming sometimes. But, regardless, put your key items in the first slot so that you don't need to do a lot of menuing to find them. Or put them in the first slot, or in the second slot to the right, or the second slot downwards from the first slot. So you don't need to do a lot of menuing to be able to get to the key items you need. Now you can get this box. You don't need to. It's just the way I, mess around and do things. But you can still get S rank even if you do all this optional stuff. Now these zombies go down in 3 to 4 shots. And if they get a headshot, they go down in 1. Now, this part you also don't need to get through it. I'm just getting it through because the bug section can be very annoying if a certain amount of them spawn. I pretty much got it down in Nightmare, but it's been a while since I've played hardcore. So, just being careful out there. Now, I'm healing here. And then picking up this hip pouch. Which is not one of the shop item hip pouches. The shop hip pouches are the very first ones in the subway. Now, again, whenever you're going up or downstairs, do the stair skate. Just press the aim button continually, let her go forward, and when she's done going forward, press it again. Now here, grab the lockpick box and place it in the first slot. You're going to be using the lockpick a ton if you really get through all the boxes. So placing it in the first spot is just really convenient. Now open this. Jill will get infected with the parasites. Go through this door. Use the green herb. The reason I go through that door is because you can't immediately go into your inventory after that cutscene. So I go a little bit first, and then when I have the ability to actually get into the inventory, I use it. Now, this part can get very iffy. Sometimes they come after you, other times they don't. But they don't get into this area, from what I've been able to see. You grab that herb, and you dodge onto the generator. Or the circuit breakers. Sorry. Go up the stairs. And immediately shoot this one. This crate and keep going. You waste one bullet, but you gain many more. So it's worth just shooting it. Now here it can get, I think it did get messy for me because they started coming after me. Other times they, I don't know why, sometimes they do, other times they really don't. Now whenever you turn on those circuit breakers, the circuit breakers, the drain Deimos will spawn like as soon as you turn on as soon as you reset the circuit breakers. Now these guys are gonna be in the roof. This one got me. I usually just sprint through this area, but I got a bit unlucky. See, there's a bunch of them on the roof. There's like 3 of them in the ground. I just tried to get around them as much as I could. They still kept hitting me. Now try to conserve your healing items. I got very unlucky in this area, so I had to use them regardless. But try to conserve them as much as possible, since you don't get as many healing items here as you do in Nightmare, actually, or at least it doesn't feel like it. Now for this section, turn on this one. They will most definitely be coming after you. This one came after me and did the lunge. It's fine, I had another herb on me, so I used it. They're good. Every time you can either kill them first and then use it. Joe's gonna puke. It's gonna have a long animation, so you can pretty much use the herb and just heal. They will probably attack you, most likely, but it's faster to just use it and have them attack you to get you out of that puking animation. Now here she turns on the circuit breakers. She turns on the whatever. Okay. Now we're going to bring the trains back online. Now this is going to be the first real Nemesis encounter we get. So I get, you don't really shoot him, you don't really fight him, you don't really do much with him. The reason I'm getting all this is because I got really unlucky in the part with the drain Deimos, with the bugs. So I just opted for getting more ammo just in case. Now here, step on the broken floor, step back with the dodge, throw the grenade at him, and he will go down in one shot. Now if you are doing a no shot, grab this. It's extremely helpful. The extended magazine ups the bullet count from 15 to 33 in your handgun. Now just keep going forward. There will be 2 zombies here. Yes. Now I normally just shoot them or dodge them and get around them. This time I got very unlucky again as well. So you are basically seeing like the worst case scenario sections. Now here, skip the radio interaction, do the stairs gate, go to this door, open up this locker if you are in need of healing. Get this. I obviously need it since I'm in freaking danger. Now, drop anything you don't need. I just dropped the shotgun shells since I don't really have a shotgun yet. And now we make for the train station thing. He will chase after us. Now you can dodge him and go here. You don't really need to do this. I'm going here to get the fancy boxes, as you can see. Now get the high gunpowder so you can make some Magnum ammo. Get that first aid. I'm also going there to get the first aid spray because I also got very unlucky. Now here, dodge if he does come after you. Use the lockpick if you are doing this. Once again, if you are going to the toy store, grab the other fancy box. Now Nemesis, he won't disappear. He will be just straight up standing outside. Now here I got very lucky because the zombie started biting me and I actually was able to get through, but then Nemesis just kept pulling me to the ground. And yes, Nemesis will punch zombies. Now here, if he jumps forward and jumps in front of you, just go and like basically juke him with those sections in the middle of the stairs. Go through here. He might just come running after you. Come here and open this lockpick. Open this locker. It will have a grenade inside it. This grenade is extremely useful. Now I pick up as many grenades as I possibly can since they basically down Nemesis in one shot. If you have shop weapons like the Raiden, like the infinite launcher, like other stuff, you don't need to get any of them. Now, Nemesis kept coming after me because, well, I got a bit unlucky. Now, you can also use that barrel to take him down, but I opted not to. Nemesis did come after me, and I got unlucky once again. But I was able to pull through and use that first aid spray and get around them. Yes, you can use the dodge to get around doors. Like, you can go through doors using the dodge. Like I said, you don't need to get any of this stuff. The reason I'm getting it is because the run started very unlucky. I am by no means a speedrunner. I really am not. But I do as much as I can. Okay, I get the shotgun. It's honestly, the shotgun is extremely useful. So if you want to trivialize certain enemies, just go for it. It just makes it a lot easier for you. Now open this box. It will have some shotgun ammo inside it, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. This shotgun ammo is useful for the parasites that we're gonna find from now on. Now for this, the first button you have to press it 3 times for the letters, the second button 5 times, and the third button 3 times. Then, as you saw, 2, 3, and 2 for the second column. You can't input the combination until Carlos stops talking to you in the radio. So you basically just have to wait. Now here, use a shotgun on this guy. You just shoot him once and then shoot this one once. Try to hit the body as much as possible, since they will go down. Now here, there's this parasite. And for this part, disclaimer, you don't need to do it. I did it because there's a grenade there. And then there's also, now to do this part as best as you can, you need to try to shoot this guy once, just to shoot this guy down and wait for these zombies to come and shoot the barrel. That way you can take care of all 3 of those zombies at the same time. Get this ammo. Then this box also has shotgun shells. And it honestly just makes life easier for us. See? Zombies go down in one shot. If you hit them in the body, they just go down. Now, I'm going to be equipping the grenade here. We're going to find the Nemesis infecting the zombie. And he also goes down in literally just one grenade. Toss. So you toss a grenade, blow it up. If you're lucky, this will happen. If you do it quick enough, the parasite zombie will get stunned and you don't need to deal with him. Those parasite zombies can be extremely annoying if you don't really stun them or do anything to keep them out of your way, since the tentacle they have has a very long range. Now here you can get this ammo, you can skip it, do whatever you will. If you feel like you have enough ammo, but honestly just pick it up, it's not that much out of your way. Now the shotgun I also picked up for this area. You can dodge to these guys, but honestly they can be a bit of a headache, so it's better to just shoot them once and just keep going. Now, if you have already picked, if you didn't do a shop run, a no shop run, and you picked up those 2 hip pouches, you don't really need to do this. I did this just to get the hip pouch because it just makes life much easier. Now we open these 3 boxes. And we input them into the little clock tower thingy. Memorial or relic or replica thing. The first one, as you saw, was a grenade. The second one is a stock for the shotgun. And the third one is a hip pouch. Now, for this next section, we're gonna also fight another Nemesis. He's gonna be chasing after us. There's two ways you can deal with it. You can, if you have a grenade, you can toss a grenade to him. He will die. One hit. He will go down in one hit. But here's the thing. There's two things he can do. He can either just walk behind you, or I remember this part. I got unlucky and I got the charge. He charged after me.
Come on, you creepy.
I got this first aid spray and he just straight up charged after me, as you saw. So it was good that I picked it up. Now I dodged here because he was gonna do the grab thing. Now come here, shoot that. He will get stunned for a few seconds. And honestly, I just used the grenade because he drops shotgun ammo. This shotgun ammo comes useful later on. Since the shotgun ammo can basically knock around enemies and keep them from coming after you, it's just useful. If you like doing like casual runs, or if you don't want to do like weird strats, or like if you want to be safe, just get the shotgun ammo. It's really useful, but obviously try to do it as quick as you can. Now, for this section of the sewers. Now I'm going to say this, should have said it at the beginning, don't get greedy with these runs, because I got greedy here. The reason I'm skipping through this, yes, all this inventory management, all this whatever. The reason I'm skipping through this is because I got very, very greedy with what I wanted to do. And I downed this guy first, then came after this one, and I forgot that the other one would be coming after me. Meaning, this happens. So, I already lost some time there, because whenever you load a game or whenever you press continue, it continues your timer from where you died. And if you want to avoid that, if you want to kind of cheese the game a little bit, after loading, you load again, but for some reason, I just didn't do the second load, and the timer just kept going. And yes, as you can see, there's shotgun ammo in this supply case. Now for this part, if you're going to pick up the grenade launcher, you're going to need at least 6, if you want to pick up everything, 6 slots free in your inventory, which is what I tried to do here. Now this section isn't overly difficult. It's really not difficult at all. You can actually dodge through certain enemies.
Oh, what was that? Oh, God. I'm definitely burning these.
Now you can get this grenade. I'm going to be getting the grenade launcher just so you can see how much better it is to pick up the grenade launcher in this section. Now here I tried to down him as much as I could. And I was going to down him, but I ended up just killing him because he got really annoying. And then I dodged him. Now, dodging him, I wasted all that ammo and then I ended up dodging him. Okay, dodging these guys can be really iffy. I just did it and got kind of lucky when I did it. But dodging them can be really iffy since they have a one-hit kill attack. Now, grab this explosive and store it for later. those explosives you can turn, as you should know, unless this is your first run, unless you tried hardcore for your first time, those explosives can be turned into flame rounds, explosive rounds, or acid rounds. Now, what you just saw was me shooting the 100 gammas, and with one flame shot, they basically get stunned enough for you to actually go by them. Meaning you don't even need to bother with them. Here, I threw a grenade at them just to deal them massive damage, and then kill them with a shotgun. They go down very quickly if you do it like that. Now here, don't forget to pick up these flame rounds if you do want to be safe. Since, once again, when we come back to exit the sewers, we're going to meet 2 of those guys. Now this is a battery pack. This is a key item you obviously need for later on. Now, once again, I'm just getting these to be safe. You don't need to get any of them. Remember, put your key items in the key items that you use frequently, aka the lockpick. Try to use them as much as possible. Here, I had to discard the gunpowder because the explosives are actually much nicer than handgun ammo. Okay, now here, we're going to be exiting the sewer. The reason we picked up those 2 flame rounds that were on the wall there is because we're going to meet 2 more Hunter Gammas. Or at least that's what I think their name is. And but the way like you saw, you shoot them once, they get stunned enough for you to be able to actually get through them. And this guy, he can be dodged, but to be safe, literally just because I didn't want to have to get through that area again, I just took the flamethrower and shot him. It's just much, even on Nightmare, like, if you're not doing speedruns for it, like actual professional speedrunners do, like, the grenade launcher just trivializes all this stuff. Now this one, he's going to be spawning here. Now you need to get that battery pack to put it in the exit to the sewers. Now I'm going to be taking it a little step further here. Now this enemy here, this really annoying enemy, he stays next to the door. And when you go, sometimes he will leave if you're away from the door enough. Other times he will actually bust through the door to try to eat you. Now I'm going to do this just to get the hip pouch. And there's an explosive, explosive A, the hip pouch, and more gunpowder. Now this will happen. Yes, he will actually bust through the door. So you can just shoot him to get him out of the door. He will literally just spawn away. And my dumbass forgot to get that battery. But if you go this way, he will actually despawn. So don't be dumb like me and lose time. Get that grenade pack, and you can either down him with the grenade launcher if you have the ammo for it, or just do this and go around him. It will avoid a lot of headache if you go around him. Now go down these stairs and use the battery pack on this exit for the sewers. And once again, doing the stair skate to get by stairs quicker.
Carla.
Skip the radio interaction. And go up these stairs. Now we'll be fighting Fire Nemesis. Well, Fire Nemesis will actually be chasing us through this area. Here, get as closest to the wall as you can so that zombie doesn't come after you, and dodge into the entrance.
You can use weapons?
Now, you also don't need to get through this area. And remember, you can do as many saves as you want. Well, not as many saves as you want, but You can do certain saves, but honestly, you don't need to bother with saves since you have an autosave. But if you want to do it legitly, then yeah, like pick the best 5 spots to pick for saves would be let me see. Would be before Drain Deimos, before the bugs. Before this, before the Fire Nemesis boss that's coming up.
I gotta get out. Quick.
With, let me see. With Carlos, then with Jill, right after Carlos, and then right before the final Nemesis. And yes, he's gonna be chasing us. So just keep dodging onto whatever interactables you find, like ladders and jumping thingies, or like pits that you have to jump through, like this next pit. If you dodge onto it, she will automatically do that jumping animation. And then here, dodge onto the stairs and she will go onto the stairs, cancel the dodge animation, and it will go even faster. This section isn't a difficult one. It can be, but it's not a very difficult one. Now for this part, for this boss battle, I chose to go with the grenade launcher because you get a bunch of explosive rounds and they take him down very quickly, surprisingly quickly. Now, if I remember correctly, this fight was a little bit messy, but I still managed to get through it. Now you can use these crates and stuff to actually hide behind Nemesis. And there's a generator in front of you. You can also use that. Whenever he does that, whenever he starts shooting upwards, pick up the items that you can and then just shoot him in the back. Now pick up these explosive rounds. And like I said, he's already down. Like the first phase is already down. And be careful about that. Don't do what I just did. He can, in this second phase, he can actually dodge. And now if you're going to do dodges and use a shotgun, be very careful. I got lucky here with that dodge, because if he would have hit me again, it would have been a death. Now this charge, be very careful with it. And if you're going to be using the grenade launcher while you're dodging, be very careful, because the impact from the grenade will actually stun you for a few seconds, meaning Nemesis can basically get a free shot in. Now this can be dodged, and he's down. It's not a very overtly difficult fight, at least not in that hardcore. In Nightmare and Inferno, he can get very annoying. I always forget there's no ammo there, but... And as you can see, like, I've been losing time in certain sections, but we still get an S rank. It just goes to show that you can be kind of messy and you can do optional sections and you can still get the S rank. Now these zombies, they're just around. You can actually run through all of them. And here we go to the Kendo's gun shop. Now pick up as much stuff as you can. Pick up this. That is actually very important. The semi auto barrel shotgun. I mean the semi auto shotgun barrel. That shotgun barrel is very useful in the sense that if you have 0 bullets and you combine it with your shotgun, it will actually fill up the shotgun with 6 bullets. So you can take advantage of that. Now I'm picking up all this stuff for, you know, because I like to be, if I'm not doing like very speedy runs, then I just go for as much as I can to be safe and avoid headaches as much as I can. Now here, use the key. And coming up, we're gonna find a parasite zombie. Grab that. Red herbs. And then there's this parasite zombie. Now this one, shoot him a couple times. And I'm going to show you, when you combine the barrel with the shotgun, it completely reloads it. As you saw. Now here, the only reason I'm going upwards is because there's explosive rounds in here that come in handy when we're fighting stage 2 Nemesis later on in front of the clock tower. They're stair skating. Now it's time for Rocket Nemesis. Now this part, it's not hard at all.
Rocket launcher?
You can,
Really?
as you like, you can zigzag through these. Honestly, this part is pretty good with a good pair of headphones. Now, I got unlucky in this part. He charged after me. But if you're good, then he won't charge after you. But Nemesis was just out for blood this time around. Then there's this one. Let Nemesis shoot those guys. Those parasite thingies, if he can. Now, here, you just need to go forward. Like, you don't need to do anything, you don't need to dodge, just go forward a little bit left here, and after the third shot of you going forward, he will just initiate the cutscene. If you get there, granted. Now, I kind of messed up a little bit here, because for some reason, in that part, you are in a danger animation, even though you're not in danger. So the second dodge in danger is actually lunges you forward way faster than other dodges. Now for this section, I actually didn't bring any grenades with me. So you're going to see the difference between a fight where you use grenades and a fight where you don't use grenades. Now here, the little head, the toy Charlie head, is going to be chasing after you. Us. Me. Jill. Whatever. Okay. Rocket Nemesis is going to be coming out now. Since I didn't have any grenades, I opted for actually fighting him. Luckily, I've been able to get his dodges down. But if you dodge him enough, as you can see, he will actually drop the supply case. If you dodge him once and then just get the shotgun, that's why I told you to get shotgun ammo in case you would need it. This supply case has flame rounds for the grenade launcher, which come extremely useful later on. But yeah, all you need to do whenever you fight Nemesis, now not everybody would I don't think most people would just opt for dodging him, but if you are confident in dodging him, then go for it. Now, we're up for another Carlos following section. We can't get ahead of him, even though I wish I could.
Carlos, I know we didn't get off to a great start.
And he kind of
Thanks for this.
got me to push myself onto the wall.
You saved my ass first. You're a hell of a lot braver than me.
Well, what matters is that we can get everyone out of the city now.
Yeah.
Now just follow Carlos to this section.
What about you?
Not from the sound of it. I won't be catching the train.
Now, as you can see, I don't really use any actual speedrunner strategies.
It means I can
I
help save the
just
city.
do what what I've learned up to now in my 15 plus runs, I think it was, of just playing around and getting S rank. Okay, we're skipping the cutscenes, and this section, now it's loading screen, but this section is the Carlos RPD section, which, if you're not very familiar with it, it can get extremely iffy with certain enemies and certain rooms.
All right, keep your head screwed on, Romeo. This is the police station.
You sure? It looks like a cemetery to me.
Now apparently if you turn off, I don't know if this is only for the PC section, but if you turn off effects and sounds and like music for this section, it goes by faster. But for this part, try to shoot Brad as much as you can in the face, because Brad is extremely bulky, and if you want that key card, then place it in the first slot like I said for the lockpick previously. Now
Where'd that cop go?
I didn't pick up those hip pouches because I assume they were the shop hip pouches.
Still worth a damn than Bard's in the STARS office. Let's find him and take him into custody.
Custody? I thought this was a rescue.
Now around here there's
Carlos, take a look at
that, the green herb.
STARS office. Remember, Bard had access to Umbrella's darkest secrets. He knows we'll try to keep him under our thumbs.
So this search and rescue mission is really more like find and detain. Right. Good to know.
I'll open the shutter so you can get through.
You stay here and find out what's been going on here at the station.
Okay, now here we're going to be walking around
Hey,
as Carlos.
Yeah. You too, man.
Now you can use the ID card, that's why I picked it up, to get these. Open. These have if I'm not wrong, all of those have assault rifle ammo. Which for certain enemies it's really useful, because you can actually, if you don't have enough ammo for the Carlos section, you can actually get stuck. But luckily they give us enough ammo to get around, so.
Here we go.
Now here, shoot this zombie. Obviously just take him down. You saw that liquor. Now we're going to be sprinting into the next room. Just sprint through it. The zombie won't get you since he's still in the animation where he's opening the door. Come around, get that flash grenade. If you do everything quickly, he won't, like you see there, he won't lunge at you. Now, this section, it can get iffy, and it does. For me at least, it does. Because there's around like 6 zombies here, if I'm not wrong. So if you do opt for getting that green herb, then, you know, just be careful. You could use that flash grenade, but I saved it for later on. Now, I kind of let myself get bit here because you get that. See? The zombies won't bother you. Now, I dodged. I tackled him wrong. But, as you saw, if you get bit, you enter a stage of like invincibility for like a second or two. But there's a red herb there, so if you are like me and in danger, then just use it. Now here all we need to do, we're gonna get the other flash grenade that's in here. We're not actually gonna go get the detonator that's on the wall. We're gonna get the flash grenade and the green herb because this part can get iffy. Or it can get very risky depending on what you do. Then this is key, which we need. Now, I get these to get some extra ammo. The locker combination is DCM in both Resident Evil 2 and this one. And as you saw, the shower combination was capped. This zombie wakes up, so you shoot him a bit so he doesn't get up or he doesn't lunge at you. Now this flash grenade I throw, I didn't get lucky with the liquor, see, but I was able to pull through him and get around him, and he actually didn't get me. Now, the 3 lockers are 104, 106, and 109. 104 is the battery that you need to proceed. 106 is, as you saw, the ammo for the assault rifle. And 109 is the grenade. I just picked them all up. Now, if you go here, zombies from outside are gonna start coming in. Here I discarded the ammo because you get a lot of ammo. But there's this zombie that's actually on the floor. He wakes up when you go through that door. Now we're gonna be finding a lot of these zombies are gonna be coming in. And you can do what I did there and just shoot them one by one. Or you can just, you know, go through the way I did. The licker is around. He was able to get me, putting me in danger once again, but I just kept going. Now I use this because, you know, you can only die when you're in danger, so I didn't want to take any risks. Okay, you grab the electronic gadget, which is a detonator, and combine it with that. Now, there's going to be 4 zombies in this next shower room. Then in the other side there will be 3 more. Or it's 5 and 3, I'm not sure. This one will peek its head out. See her. I just opted for dodging her.
Take a number.
Then since there were so many of them, I just shot a bunch of them. And I still got grabbed by that one. Now I got grabbed. I just kept going. And since I didn't want to risk death, I just used that. Now this licker you can get around quickly. As soon as you press A on the door, that's it. Now you can just turn around and go and leave. Now you don't need to heal. There's healing items, don't bother healing, they're gonna be wasted because when you open the door, Carlos actually gets fully healed. So don't waste your healing items here. Okay. Now, we're done with Carlos. The first section, which is the RPD for Carlos. Next section is Jill. But Jill, now this section is basically just getting out of the subway and getting to fight Stage 2 Nemesis. Okay, you open the door with her, and if you hadn't picked up the shotgun and the grenade launcher earlier, they would both spawn on those chairs next to the typewriter. See, right there. But obviously they're not there because we already picked them up. Now for this section, you kind of need the grenade rounds. So you pick up the grenade launcher, you just take as many rounds as you can. And this section, you don't need to fight really anybody. Except, you know, you need to shoot some zombies later on, but you can just sprint through like I did here. Zombies don't get up quick enough to be able to be a menace for you. Now, these guys here, just shoot them down. He actually got me and slowed me down. And then go upwards.
Still alive. I can't stay here.
Okay. Now, to the left, there were herbs and stuff. You don't really need them. Now, for this part, obviously, run forward. You actually can die in this section if you don't hold forward on the left stick. Okay, now we start the fight. Okay. Honestly, the way I usually do this, even on Nightmare, just dump everything. Like, just dump as many flame rounds, as many explosive rounds, as much as you possibly can. Just dump everything on him. And use the shotgun too. The shotgun fires extremely quickly with that barrel attachment, so it makes your life much easier. Okay. Whenever you have a chance, or if you can risk it, try to get as many ammo and heals as you can. And now, as you saw just now, I shot him with the grenade launcher. He was charging at me. See, he's charging at me. Whenever he takes an explosive or a flame round, he actually stops in his tracks. Now, you're gonna get a lot of stuff in this part, so if you don't have the hip pouch, the extra hip pouches, then, you know, just discard stuff. Now that's also, you gotta be careful with that lunge that he just did. And obviously just try to dump as much ammo as you can on him. Now he's going to start running on the walls. Here I did it a little there.
I'm gonna kill you.
Now I made the mistake of not reloading before this, but I still managed to pump in a few shots. And then keep switching between flame rounds. Try to also keep your distance from him. He can be very aggressive at times. Okay, now whenever he's running, switch to flame rounds. And then I kind of messed that mine round. I mean, switch to mine rounds whenever he's running. Sorry about that. Now, even if you miss, he's still gonna come around. So whenever he's here, just pump as many bullets as you can. If you have the shotgun, try to use it as much as you can whenever he's down and showing his heart, because the mine rounds actually take him out of that down state. Okay, he's running after us, but he somehow didn't stop. I have no idea why. He usually does. Just goes to show that something's... And he just kept coming at me. Now, what I just grabbed were a bunch of Magnum, shotgun bullets. But I kind of forgot. I picked them up. And just kept pumping him with the flame rounds. See, you got a bunch of shotgun bullets. Now be careful when you reload. Like you just saw, whenever you reload and you're mid reload animation, he can still get you.
Carl, come on, you're gonna crap out on me now?
Now don't forget these rounds. Careful with mine rounds and everything that's in this area. After he does the run, he will drop stuff. He won't drop stuff, but the cars will open and you will be able to get stuff. Now for this next section, it's time for the dreaded Carlos hospital scene. Section. Why is it dreaded, you may be asking?
Tyrell.
Because the hunters that show up in this area can one-hit kill you.
I don't got time for this.
Now here, try to avoid getting into interactions with zombies. And as you saw there, I would suggest killing that female zombie that was there, because she can get annoying. But you can just tackle her and she will stop on her tracks and you can keep going. Now this is a tape recorder. For some reason I had a bunch of red herbs.
Please state your business clearly.
But I still managed to find some green herbs to combine with. Okay. Now I did the dodge incorrectly again. But in that section, you can just straight up go around. And jump scare. And now go to the second floor. Now that zombie on the floor, he's dead there, but he will come up the next time we go around. Now here, when you're on the second floor, just go straight forward, go to the right, and jump out the first window. Jump out the first window. To the right of me right now, there's a tactical grip. You can get it. It helps. You also can avoid it. Then jump through here and get that key. That key you need for the staff room upstairs in the 2nd floor. And I brought the knife with me. You don't need to bring a knife. Honestly, the knife in this game is kind of crappy, so you don't need to bother with using it. I mean, okay, now we go upstairs. And that zombie I said, he will be getting up now. You can actually just walk around him. And we go left. Now, right to the left, there's a safe room here. See? There's some ammo and an herb, and then on the other side of the... Now, manage your inventory. I removed the knife because, honestly, it was just annoying. And there's some handgun ammo there, which can be useful for the later fight, the survival later on. Now grab this assault rifle ammo. Open this door with the key that we got outside. Now discard this key, and if you have been doing that, putting key items in first slots, this will automatically go to your first slot. Here there's a flash grenade in these lockers. Get it and keep going. Now, time for the hunter encounter. I got lucky in this run since the hunters weren't an issue for me. But if you can, shoot him and then go back. And then keep doing the same thing. Like, try to keep your distance from him. You can also dodge him. Like, if he attacks you and you do the toggle correctly, you can just keep going. Since after this door, hunters won't chase you. Now, the locker combination here is 9-3. Yes, just 2 numbers. The reason I get this one is because it gives you a double magazine for the assault rifle. This dual magazine extends your your bullets from 32 to 64, and it's very useful for this dreaded part with the 2 hunters. And this part can get very iffy, and it did get very iffy for me. You will see. Now there's 2 zombies here. I just killed them because I wanted to put the dual on my assault rifle. See, it completely reloads your assault rifle. Okay, there's a red herb here. You grab that just in case. Okay. The best way I would say to do this is to just use the friggin' flash grenade, but I got very unlucky, and they were both in... One of them was in a stagger animation, and the other one was in a dodging animation. So, none of them got stunned by the flash. Now here, one of them did get stunned by the flash. The other one was dodging around, so he didn't get stunned by the flash. This is what I mean when hunters can get extremely annoying. Now go outside and jump through this door. I mean window, sorry. Now we're going to make our way back to Nathaniel Bard's office. But here I would suggest you just use the flash grenade. It's what I usually do, but this is what I get for experimenting. Now open this door. This room is useful because there's a lot of resources here. See, grenades, flash grenades, ammo. Now, here, put on the grenade. Now we're going to be doing a little bit of waiting. If you can't wait, then just take care of them. But this grenade just takes care of pretty much all of them. I think one guy... Yeah, just one zombie didn't go down. Now we're coming up to Nathaniel Bard's office. Combine the tape with the tape player, tape recorder.
All I wanted to know was what the documents were doing
And then
in
go
your
in.
office in the first place.
Who do you think you're talking to? I'm goddamn Nathaniel Bard.
There. Now we go in. we find out that Nathaniel Bard has been shot in the face,
Bard.
presumably by
Tyrell.
Nikolai. And now you open, you don't open, Carlos opens it.
Is
You
he
open
here?
this door, you go here, you get the vaccine, and you get out.
All right, Joe. Hang tight.
There's a little bit of ammo there, just get it if you want to, or don't get it, it's fine. Now this hunter, ignore him. He might come after you, but he might also despawn the way you saw there. Now for some reason in this run, I was getting very unlucky with Carlos dodges, so now here you can see zombies kept getting me, they kept biting me, but whatever, that's all done with now. Now we're coming up to the Carlos survival section, the one where he defends Joe. Now use the vaccine on Joe, and we start.
Better grab
Okay.
some gear.
So for this section,
Sounds like there's a
try to be healed. Okay, this section is based on a timer, so it doesn't matter how many zombies you kill, at least I think. Well, take that with a grain of salt, but just all you need to do here is survive, basically. This section can get a little bit annoying because it takes just so long, but it's not hard at all since there are generators everywhere. You get grenades, you get a bunch of ammo. As you can see, I have literally 641 bullets, plus the ones I have on my gun right now. And they actually go down very quickly. They don't really take much. They don't really take too many bullets, but they go down pretty quickly. One thing I didn't get for the assault rifle was the dot sight, the hollow sight actually. You don't really need it. It's useful, but I always end up never getting it, so. Okay, here I grabbed the detonator, but you don't really need to grab it yet. Now honestly, for this section, it can get a bit exhausting since all you're doing is just shooting zombies. But remember to make good use of those generators. Now, just stay shooting. Soon the hunter will be coming out, so make sure you're ready for that. Now, the lights went off. You don't need to turn the lights back on. The timer still keeps going, even though Tyrell says you should, but the hunter now comes in. The best way to deal with the hunters is just to chuck a grenade at them. They go down in one hit. It just saves you from freaking random one shot that they can possibly do. Grab all those grenades, the flash and the regular grenades, and just keep shooting the zombies down. Now, parasite zombies do come out. Not as, not as often as all these, but not as often as the regular zombies, but they do come out every now and then. Now, as you can see, look at the shutters. The shutters are gradually moving down. So, as you can see, you don't really need to bother turning on the lights again. And once again, don't forget to make use of the generators. They are extremely useful for this section. Now always try to be conscious of what's around you. The zombies, if you forget about one of them, they can get around you, they can bite you, and they just make a mess of things. So try to always be looking around and seeing if there are any zombies that you might have missed. You also can kill the zombies as they're coming in. So if for some reason you just want to get ahead, shoot the zombies down as they're coming inside. Now, this hunter shows up, use the grenade. Trust me, it's way better than just dealing with them directly using the assault rifle. Now here, a zombie got me from behind. I remember this. And then another one got me from behind. This is what I mean by things can get messed up, see? And they just keep lunging at you. Now the shutters are almost closed, so all you need to do now is just get rid of the remaining zombies. Okay, here, chuck a grenade at them. They will all, pretty much all of them will go down. And it'll just make your life much easier. Now just wait 30 seconds. Now there's various ways you can deal with this. You can actually take advantage of the generator that is next to the door where Jill's in. Or you can actually just fight them. But honestly, the best way to deal with them is just keep throwing that's why we got flash grenades, but I ended up almost not using them. So just keep throwing flash grenades at them. For this part, for these 30 seconds, just keep throwing flash grenades until they just stop and leave you alone. And also use the generator. Now this part's done. When you skip the radio, you will now start using Jill. Now, this part, I'll mention it in a few seconds. Now, I'm going to be picking up the Magnum. This part is completely skippable. Only do it if you feel like you need the Magnum, and if you actually want the Magnum. Now grab that G18 gun, the burst handgun. It comes useful later. And try to combine. Just get as much menuing as you can done. See, this is what I meant by you get a bunch of even in hardcore, like even like this, you can still get a bunch of resources. It's not just because I got unlucky and I picked up a bunch of stuff. You still end up with a bunch of bullets. Now like I said, I'm going to be getting the Magnum in this section. You don't need to get the Magnum. You can just go through this door, go to the right, and then those are my times and stuff. Okay, now for this, you could just ignore all of these, go to the right, and just go straight for the lab. This is what I meant by kill that female zombie. She can get very annoying. Okay, this is, I would say, to get the Magnum, just makes life easier to just do a route like this. Now ignore that hunter that just came in through that door and go upstairs. When you go upstairs, there will be another hunter waiting. Now I also got unlucky this time. He usually doesn't get me. This time he freaking got me. Annoyingly, he was able to get me. Now, in this corridor, a hunter will come up. I also got unlucky with the dodge. He hit me all 3 times, but as soon as you get to that hole, like, Jill will go through anyways. This is what I meant by you can get very unlucky. Now, the Magnum is here to your left. Magnum is extremely useful.
Guaranteed
They give it to you in Nightmare at the very and Nightmare and Inferno at the very beginning. And honestly, thank you for that, Capcom. It was really useful. Okay, now here, the Hunter. You don't need to bother with the Hunter. Just ignore him. He won't come after you. And then the female zombie will be there. So this is revenge for last time. Now, we go back through this door, and now a hunter will spawn. Just dodge him, get around them, go open the lockpick. I mean, use the lockpick to open the door, and just get through. Try to dodge as much as possible. Don't spam the button all the time, but try to time it with the attacks. It's very useful if you do.
Oh, this must be the way underground.
Okay, now we're going to be making our way into the next section, which is the room with the fuses.
How is it no one in the hospital ever noticed all this?
I really don't know, Joe. Now, while that's coming down, grab this herb and then get on the platform. Put it up. And grab this hip pouch. Now, for this section, you don't need a grenade launcher. All you arguably need is the Magnum. The Magnum you can use for that pale head that's gonna come out in a few seconds. Well, the pale head that's gonna drop down in a few seconds. If you shoot him in the head, he goes down. Now, this is what I mean by I got really unlucky in this run. Even though I was able to get through and get an S rank, I got really unlucky. I actually missed the shot 2 times. So I wasted 2 Magnum bullets. Don't be like me. But honestly, I just ignored him. There's really no need to fight him. Now, grab that fuse. Now, dogs will spawn here. As soon as that stops, dodge. Because the dog will get you if you don't dodge. That's both of them. Now try to get as ahead here as possible. That thing will stun you regardless, but it's better to get ahead. Shoot this one.
Oh, a dead end.
Go through this.
Wait.
These things here. Shelves. And now we're going to be getting the second fuse. To our left, if you go down, there is the speed loader, which makes the reload for the shotgun faster, but we're not gonna get it. It's just unnecessary wasted time. It doesn't feel like it makes much of a difference anyways. So now there's high gunpowder here, high grade gunpowder. Get it and then go down. Now I didn't bring a grenade with me. I think I had one in the item box. It's very useful for this part. If you don't have a grenade, just use the shotgun, because a bunch of them come out. Okay, now this guy will show up. Grab the Magnum, aim at his leg, shoot him and run. Don't bother fighting him, don't bother doing anything with him. Just shoot him in the leg. He will get stunned and you can just run through. Okay. Next up is the room with 2 zombies and a pale head. The shotgun, like I said, is extremely useful. That's why I told you earlier on to use or get as many shotgun bullets as you can, because it's very useful. Now I dodged him there just to save a little bit of ammo because I've been a bit unlucky. Now Hunter comes out here. If you're able to dodge him,
Right, here it
don't.
goes.
But if you don't want to risk it, just shoot him a couple times in the face and he'll go down. Now, the pale head might get you, so try to get through that door quickly. Get through that door quickly. Combine that to get the Magnum ammo. Now, pale head is here. I just dodged here. If you get unlucky, they will all try to hit you, but as soon as you get here, they seem to not pay any more attention to you, so.
Shit, he got away.
Okay. Now behind the computers here, there is an attachment for the Magnum. I would suggest you get it. If you equip it on your Magnum, it basically makes pale heads a one-shot regardless of where you shoot them. If you shoot them without that attachment, you have to shoot them in the head, or if you shoot them in the body, they will regenerate. With this attachment, they go down if you shoot them anywhere in the body, from what I've done until
Sure
now.
you don't need to stop?
Stop and do what? I got your back.
All right.
Okay, time for the next section. You have to wait for him to get to the door. Okay, we are now in the lab. And Nest 2, as it's named. Go here and get that if you need health. I end up getting a lot of stuff that I end up not really using. No, I normally don't bring the grenade launcher for this part, since the shotgun can be more than enough for the hunters. But since I have gotten pretty unlucky until now, I didn't want to push my bad luck even further. So we're gonna be bringing that grenade launcher for the hunters that come out later on. Okay, after we get that USB, we come to this door, put it in that door, and keep going. Now, this room will have many pale heads. This guy, knock him down. See? You can. I shot him in the face. He goes down with one shot. If you shoot him in the face, even if you don't have the Magnum attachment, they will go down if you shoot him in the head once. Now here we're getting the first part of the back scene.
I might be able to use this to synthesize the
That zombie goes up, but just don't bother. Now, here I will demonstrate. Shoot him in the arm, shoot him in the torso, it's a one shot, regardless of where you shoot him. This Magnum attachment is a dream, and you don't even lose any time with it. Now I thought there would be another one there, but it's just my trauma from playing Nightmare. Get these. They give you acid rounds right before this part because the hunters are actually weak. to acid rounds. They get stunned whenever you would use acid rounds on them, and it makes them so much easier to kill. But I usually just push my luck,
This must be what powers it.
and here I missed a bullet. To my dismay, I miss one of the Magnum bullets. Okay, here is the first aid spray. Only get it if you need it. I chose to get it just because. I already have a bunch of healing items back in the box, but now these are explosives. Get them so you can combine them with other explosives you end up getting. If I'm not wrong, you get more explosive bees in this next room. And you can actually combine them to make even more acid rounds. Use an explosive, you can use whatever you want. Since, yeah, there's 2 parasites. So honestly, just do whatever fits better, but I just opted for using the grenade launcher. Since honestly it's just so destructive. Here's an explosive A to make some. I usually try not to combine explosive A's with B's. Here I dodged that payload head, but I usually try to avoid combining. Normally I try to avoid combining explosives A with explosives B. I just combine B with B's and A with A's because it's just much easier, because you know acid rounds are pretty strong. Now here's what I meant by acid rounds are their weakness. They get so ridiculously stunned. You can actually shoot them once, and while they're stunned, just keep shooting them with the handgun if you don't want to keep spending like Magnum or shotgun or other grenade rounds. See? And that way you can conserve the good ammo you have and use a bunch of the handgun ammo that you probably have by now. Now you don't need to bother with that pale head, obviously if he doesn't come towards you. If he does, then just shoot him with the Magnum. Now, this puzzle, not really a puzzle, but it's pretty simple. It's mid, high, low. So use vaccine, press on the first column once, and then 2 times on the second one. And that's it. Pretty simple.
Vaccine.
Yes.
Grab the vaccine. The cutscene will start where Nemesis comes out again. Now we're approaching the end, the last 2 fights. Now here, just keep pressing on the left stick. You actually can die in these parts, so just don't risk it. Now here we get a bunch of ammo. So we're gonna be doing a little bit of menu management. Try to plan these ahead. I didn't say it at the beginning, but I will probably add like a title card or something saying to watch this video first before attempting them. Don't like do both things at the same time, because you may just get screwed over. Or try to watch a section first, and then do whatever you need to. Organize ahead. If you are having a hard time with hardcore or just this game in general, it's fine. This game isn't for most people. It's really good, but it's not for most. I really enjoy it, but it's not for most people. So if you really want to get through hardcore and you are having issues with this, just, you know, plan ahead. This fight can get, this and the last fight can both get very annoying. The last fight especially.
What in God's name is this place?
Now, it's time for Acid Nemesis. Since after this you won't be needing any more ammo, just handgun ammo, and you get a bunch of it during the last fight, just go for this and just literally shoot him with everything you've got. Acid rounds deal a ton of damage, but they provide absolutely no stopping power, so be mindful of that. See? Phase 1 already done. Whenever he does those screeches, also shoot him. Now, you can use, if you have mine rounds here, you can use the mine rounds and actually shoot him down to get him back down. Or you can just wait for him to get on the acid canisters, shoot him down, and then when he goes down, just shoot him as much as you possibly can. The way I did there. The zombies, also be very careful with them. They can get very, very annoying if you don't watch out for them. So if you have the shotgun ammo, or if you have time, then just take them down. Okay. And after you get a certain amount of damage in, Carlos will come in and he'll start helping you out. God bless Carlos. Now, he's still not down. So honestly, just keep shooting him with everything you have. Here I'm basically just gonna keep shooting him until he just finally cracks. Oh, and don't forget, there's handgun ammo, first aid spray, and a shotgun bullet around. Like I said, try to dodge and shoot him with a shotgun. Shotgun is extremely useful in this game. And be mindful of the zombies. He actually got me this time, but I have more than enough health to be able to take him down. And there he goes. Nemesis, Acid Nemesis, Stage 2 is down.
Nikolai, where did you go?
Now it's time for the actual most dreaded part of this entire game. It may not be as dreaded in hardcore, but it is such a headache in Nightmare and Infernos because he can just stun lock you to death, and it's the worst. But here, just avoid. We're gonna make a safety save just in case. I suggest you do the same. We don't die in this part, but I suggest you do the same because if you keep dying in this part, the counter will go up unless you do the double load. The timer. Now, immediately go back, open the compartment for the railgun, grab the railgun. You don't really need to aim. Like, like an aim thing, a reticle comes out, just press the R button as soon as you can. Now, put on the burst handgun.
How about some more?
He is not that fast here in hardcore, but he can still be a little bit annoying. Now when he's down, immediately go to the things. There's actually a very quick way to do this, but we're going to be doing the safe way. The quick way is,
Go ahead.
as soon as he goes down, go to the right, with the first one in the right, then immediately dodge onto the other one. Now be careful with this, he can hit you, and it can get very annoying. Also be careful with the acid, because of that. The acid stuns you if it lands in front of you. Okay, now the quick way would be to, as soon as he goes down, push this one in and immediately dodge to the next one that's back there. But we're gonna go the safe way. This is why I didn't die. I know, like, more than, like, I didn't die at all in this section. Remember, when you do dodges, the reticle will automatically go into the sits, the orbs, the whatever things he has. Okay. Get this last section, last thing. And he will go down, and now you will have done the safe way for this. Okay. Now, go towards the railgun. Just dodge onto it, press the A button. And shoot him. And move forward, press the R, the trigger, and we're done.
Next time, take the fucking hit.
Okay, we're done, but we're also not done. We need to get to Nikolai, and that's when officially the run ends. No. This is just gonna be a section where you go to elevator and goes up, go to Nikolai. So honestly, if you know what to do, you should be able to know, but you just shoot Nikolai. So if you wanna leave, well, thank you for accompanying me in this playthrough, in this tutorial. I hope it helped you. I really enjoyed making it. And honestly, it's a very different thing I've done. See? Now just shoot him. That's it. That's the run. That's done. Now, thank you so very much for watching this. If you did, whatever sections you needed, whatever really you needed, I really hope it helped. And thank you for accompanying me. Now there is the end screen. S rank, 134. The cutoff is 145. But we managed to get it, even with such bad luck and so many mistakes. And now, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. And here is our run, 134.28. Thank you so very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. Hit the bell, and thank you for watching. Have a great day.